race, how we run them up. Get a dot to your top like the letter I. That bitch be lowercase, all of my soldiers straight. If I tell them to shoot, then they gon' shoot, and they ain't even asking what soul to take. You see Noodle and crew, then you better move, cause your team, they're about to dissipate. Get rounds to your top, and to your bottom, your body resemble a number 8. Noodle, pass me the gun, I'ma shoot him too. Put rounds in his chest like a hula hoop. If Doodle gon' vote, then I'm voting too. We don't keep no imposters among us, dude. I'm loyal to my dog like he Marmaduke, and I'm taking a shot like Ciroc for you. Said I'm loyal to my dog like he Marmaduke, and I'm taking a shot like Ciroc for you. This is the channel of Noodleton. We dropping bombs, yeah, we nuking them. Feel like a tank, how we shooting them. Sound like a movie, no cinema. This rated R ain't no Disney Plus. Subscribe to the channel, let's run it up. Now that you here, boy, you one of us. It's a Pokemon race, how we run them up. This is the channel of Noodleton. We dropping bombs, yeah, we nuking them. Feel like a tank, how we shooting them. Sound like a movie, no cinema. This rated R ain't no Disney Plus. Subscribe to the channel, let's run it up. Now that you here, boy, you one of us. It's a Pokemon race, how we run them up.
Hello, everyone. Today we've got the TCL Tankers Championship League playoffs. This is the round 1, so very beginning of the playoffs. It's going to be Panda versus RNGD. This tournament is Tier 9, so a little bit off meta. First of 3 wins takes the victory. Kind of basic rules. It's NBA, right? Just like most other tournaments. They do have bans, and currently Panda is elected to do no bans for maps. RNGD is going to ban the map Abbey, and it looks like they're not going to ban any tanks or anything like that. They do have points they can use to do that, and they can actually do it as the match goes on, so we'll see what happens. Today on comms, I've got Zoran. So welcome in, Zoran. Really appreciate you being here with us.
My name is Zoran. This is my voice.
Should be a good game. I don't really know a lot about RNGD. I've watched them a couple of times. I think we've streamed them a couple of times. From what I know, I mean, they're a pretty experienced team. Panda's kind of a newer team put together of a bunch of people from a couple of clans, Immortals, and I think it was DFI maybe. So they're kind of getting together, doing their thing. They've been playing for a little bit, so I know they're getting their the rhythm down, I guess you could say. So they're getting pretty good. So we should have a good match on our hands today.
Yeah, you're streaming on Twitch, right?
Yep, it'll be up in like 90 seconds. It's still going through the delay. All right, looks like both teams have said they've got their players in, so we should start getting everything going here.
This is a Tier 9 game. What's the rule set we have here, good sir?
So they can't play, more than, the 3 of the same, right? TDs are hard locked at 2, I believe, and each team could use points to get a third TD. I haven't seen anybody do that yet. Artie's banned. It's NBA. I think the maps are pre-selected. Let me check here. Oh, never mind. So there's a small selection of maps they can pick from, but the teams pick. So
In terms of Tier 9 TDs, I can only think of primarily the T30, a major pick.
Yeah, T30 is pretty big. A lot of people like to play that. You'll see a lot of the baby waffles. Those are monsters in this. Those 9 times out of 10, those two TDs usually end up being the things that put in a lot of work in these matches. You see a lot of tier 9 bad chats. You see a lot of KPZs, obviously, Conquers. You see a lot of Conquers. Yeah, you got your basic tier 9 meta tanks, really. You'll see a few weird things here and there.
Seen a Coon's Panzer yet? New recent tank.
No, actually, I think this is going to be the first round of games since that's came out. So maybe.
Westfield. Coon's Panzer could work on Westfield. Coon's Panzer pretty much is just a live prototype that can go up and down. Probably see a lot. I guess
Westfield,
probably at least 2 bad chats per game.
yeah.
2 bad chats per team on this game.
Westfield's going to be Panda's first map pick here, so.
For light tanks, I probably expected just to be RU in the T54.
You don't really see a lot of T54s, honestly.
That's a bit surprising.
And for those wondering, Samurai of Faith is, he's the mod of the room. He's modding the room today. He's actually the guy that runs TCL. So he's going to be the one running the room for both teams.
And a bit slow in uptake. Your first tank, Panda.
Yep, RNG's got 5 up so far. It's really a catchy name, you know? RNGD, RNG'd. I like it.
At a glance, the D looks like a O. I'm gonna take it as Ringo.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and call them out since they're picked already. On RNGD side, we got Dis in the KPZ 50 ton, Irish Assassin in the Cobra T54, Marshall in the AMX 1390, Spectonic in the Concept 1B, Saint Evil in the Cobra T54, Drift in the T30, Princess in the T30, and Boss Pawn in the Tier 9 VZ.
Forgot about the Cobra T54.
Very good tank. Very good tank. A lot of teams have been running it. It's really hard to go up against at Tier 9. Surprised we didn't see a baby waffle out of RNG. Instead, we got two T30s. Interesting decision. I feel like on a map like Westfield, especially defense, the concealment from the baby waffle and its DPM just
Yeah,
kind of
but
a.
we're
Oh, go ahead.
you'd have to make sure to hold a flank so it could actually remain hidden.
Yeah, I mean Westfield kind of plays out interesting, right? A lot of teams will go north, try to brawl in the hills, send some mediums to the south to kind of work that bottom line. But we've also seen teams do some crazy stuff. Some teams have went down the middle, went straight for the cap in the mid, while sending a couple of tanks, 2-3 tanks to the south. On the defense side, we've seen teams stack up literally in the spawn, basically on the spawn hill, give them the north and hold the south and the right. There's a lot of different things you can do on this map. It really just depends, honestly. At tier 9, the meta's a little different. So you don't have, these crazy light tanks with these massive view range running around. But I mean, let's be honest, tier 9 light tanks are not far off. Looks like we're waiting on one from Panda and we will be getting going.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good the Conquerors will be, concerning T30s can overmatch the roof if they don't go hold down enough.
Conk's always a good pick. I mean, you can generally play that thing on any map, right? As long as they're smart and don't overexpose for too long, I think they'll be fine. Conks are good.
It is also hard to get some tier 9 premiums half the time.
Still waiting on one from Panda here.
There we go. We got 2 Conquerors, 2 KBZs, 2 oh no, he selected. Yeah, 2 Conks, 2 Bat Chats, 2 KBZs, and 2 Cobras.
Looking like it might be a battle. All right, we got readies from both teams, so we should be launching. Given their lineup, I'm not going to be surprised if Panda's entire team is in the north here. Maybe one or two tanks possibly holding like maybe the bridge area. But no, I mean it looks like they're all going to come up, win the north, and then maybe rotate out. RNG is going to send a few people up. Looks like their T30s are going to sit back at the church. Not. They're definitely going to have an overmatch on the top.
Conkers are lagging behind a bit though.
Oh, we're about to have people spotted, so this is going to get interesting. Shot coming out of the concept 1B at the bad chat for a miss. RNG, they should have knowledge now that the majority of Panda's team is up here. We'll see what kind of rotations they try to make.
First damage of the game.
Oh, good shot into the side of the concept. Those two K or that the KPZ and that bat chat are going to be problems up there if they leave them unchecked. Oh, big hit on the concept. He got double tapped. This VZ is going to get annihilated if he pulls around too far. I don't know why RNG's just kind of forgetting about these two mediums up here. Looks like they're going to rotate their TDs now.
And their lighting's going to scout the make sure nothing's creeping around.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he should have shots on. Oh, no, he's running the border over there. I don't know that he can. This baddie did get spotted, or he wouldn't be moving around like that. Concept 1B finally goes down here, and they're going to start peeking over here pretty aggressively and putting some shots in. There's not a lot RNG can do here until possibly the T30 gets a shot in on one of those mediums up there, but until they get those mediums in check, they can't do nothing. The T30s are just now getting to the hill. And they might eat some shots out of the bat chat. And he's going to clip, yeah. Yikes. And a fire.
No.
Unfortunate. Oh, man. It's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of fires as of late.
Everyone's running food nowadays.
Cobra peeks over and takes his T30 out. Oh, big hit from the T30. It looked like on Cobra out of Panda here. And he peeks over and gets the kill on Snake the Jake. Panda's mediums are now going to, just kind of circle in here and kind of wrap this up here. So we got a light tank, medium tank brawl back here. T30 is going to move back down the hill instead of covering his teammates in the north. Panda's just going to collapse in on the bowl, take the last guy out, and then rotate down for the TD and light tank. Good round for Panda. RNG just they had good positioning early. I feel like they really should have capitalized on those mediums over there. They should have attacked those mediums, done something. All right, move them back down. That would have gave you a little bit of room to peek that left side like they were trying to do. But GG to both teams on this one. Looks like Panda's maybe going to go up one here. Light Tank's going to go in for his last clip of the game. Might get the bat chat out. Think he's got one or two left. And he gets taken. GG's to Panda. They're going to go up 1-0 here. First of three takes the victory. We'll go over the scoreboard here. Over on the Panda side, we got Pit Bulls in the bat chat 25. 3K damage. Pretty good there. Nice spin rate. Only missed one. Uzi in the bat chat with 1 kill, 1987. Diesel in the KPZ 50 ton with 2 kills, 1971. No Sleep in the Conqueror with 2 kills, 1642. Bimbers in the Cobra T54 with 2 kills, 1582. Taco in the Conqueror with 1 kill, 1446, and a good pin rate out of that one as well. Monkeynomics in the KPZ 50 ton with 1222. And wrapping it up is Snake the Jake and the Cobra T54 with 663. You want to do the RNG side?
Sure, I'll mess up their names. For Drift, Drift X and a T30, got a couple shots in for 1500. For Marshall, an AMX 1390, managed to get a good few shots off for about 1400. X, the KBZ, managed to get around 1300 and the only kill. For Spectronic in the Concept 1B, got 3 shots off. For Saint Evil,
Yep.
Kerber T54, managed only to get 3 of his 4 shots off in his clip. The Boss Pawn, managed to get a couple for his clip. Irish Assassin didn't have much luck. Of course, Princess with Fire did not have the best game.
Yeah, Fire got caught out by that bat chat in the middle. It's unfortunate. All right, we'll move to the other side for round 2. Maybe the room has been glitched out and we've got some Cold War tanks being picked.
That would be a surprise turn. I would welcome.
That would be something. Launch it with Cold War tanks.
Has there been much Cold War tournaments you've seen?
So I've streamed one Cold War tournament and I haven't heard of any others. And the one that I did stream was like a 3v3, so it was a little different. I know there was something in the works. Somebody trying to, come up with like either an Era 1 or an Era 2 type tournament, but I haven't heard much about it since it was originally brought up. I think it has the potential at Era 1 or Era 2. There's quite a few tanks,
Yeah.
right? I think there's potential. I think the biggest thing, like a big topic of discussion was True Vision. How do you play a competitive match with True Vision turned on? Some people suggested turn it off, right? But then it kind of gets rid of the I guess the basics of Cold War, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think True Vision is going to be weird.
I think it really depends on the map selection.
Yeah.
I'm more curious about terms of like limitations of like how many like say tier 3s you would have per game, if any.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be odd how, I mean, I know there's people that want it, right? There's a lot of teams that are playing Cold War. There's a lot of players playing Cold War. I think at some point in the future, we'll definitely see a Cold War tournament. I can't even begin to imagine, the rules and how it'll play out. I think there's just got to be some testing done, right? Somebody's just going to have to do it and see how it goes. And the metas, you talk about a different in metas between Cold War and World War II. I mean, man, it'd be like watching a completely different competitive scene, I guess some things would be similar, but the tanks in there are just so much faster. They shoot faster. They
Not
got
to
a lot
mention
more health.
ATGMs.
Yeah, there's missiles, there's smoke. I don't know, man. It has the potential to be really interesting, I think. The 3v3 that we streamed was really cool. It was Era 1, so there was no missiles. And it went really well. I enjoyed it. And I think they did it, I'm trying to remember, I think they did it with True Vision off. Pretty sure they did it with True Vision off. But either way, it was definitely entertaining, I thought. I'm not real sure how it'll go when you start introducing Era 2 tanks, Era 3 tanks, missiles, True Vision. It's going to get weird, right?
Yeah. Era 3 is probably a bit too similar for it to be a fun tank selection.
Yeah, there's just not a lot there.
Yeah, you get it's just pretty much 3 of the same tank and 2 of another, and plus the lights, which are okay. Era 1 might work, but It also has a bit of an issue where it's a lot of a kind of a similar tank, and there isn't enough tanks per se.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when we did that one, it was like 3 tanks, right? People were picking the 268, that NM 116, and then we seen a few M103s. But yeah, the 268. Oh, Pooh Barns. We've seen Pooh Barns, 268s, NM 116, M103, and we saw the E3, obviously, or not. Yeah, the
Yeah.
T95 E3. Yeah, we've seen that. I don't know. It just seems to be like the same, like 4 tanks that we've seen, and there was like, I don't know, man, like 20, 30 teams in that thing, and everybody was picking the same 3, 4 tanks. All right, we got some tanks going up for Panda over there. We've got Burn This Taco and the Conqueror. We got Monkeynomics and the KPZ. We got Pitbulls and the Bad Chat 25. No Sleep in the Conqueror. Ooze in the Bad Chat 25. Snake the Jake in the Cobra 254. Diesel in the KPZ, and Bimbers in the Cobra 254. Pretty much the same tanks on this side for them.
On RNG, we have a pretty unique tank. We have the TL7 Black. Seen one of those yet?
Nope, first time.
This gun's pretty similar to the Cobra T54, so it's, unless you're playing a snipe with it, I'm not sure. Not sure I'd pick it over the Cobra though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's well, and look, it's a TD, I guess it's it's all right, but if you're gonna pick that over like a waffle or a T30, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe they don't have waffles, maybe they don't have T30. Well, they got T30s. They ran 2 of them. I don't know. I'm one of those unique ones where I can't. I always like to see matches go to tiebreakers. The more, the merrier, right? So I'm kind of rooting for RNG on this one. Let's get it tied up, moving into the next one, 1-1. That's what I'd like to see.
Hoping Princess does better in the TL7 compared to last game.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate getting caught out by that bat chat. Set on fire at that. That's tough.
Question is, are they carrying a fire extinguisher this time around?
All right, we'll see if US Can, or I'm sorry, not US Can. I read the tag. RNG, tries to take the North here a little more aggressively than they did on defense. Looks like they're going to send their light tank mid to try to get a spot on that K line, see if they're moving anybody up there. Looks like the 2 KPZs and possibly the TL7 Black is going to go left side here down the 0 line. It'll work for them if they can get the knowledge that there is nobody over there from Panda, and they can move up and take some map control. The problem is RNG's got to realize that they don't have a lot going north, so I'm not real sure if going up there's the play, right? Maybe they choose to just stay back here, hold down, give Panda the north side, and just kind of work off of angles. It looks like they're probably going to do that. Most likely, I would expect them to try to start putting cap pressure on after a little bit with that light tank, but it's going to be kind of difficult for them. Looks like Panda's going to move their Conqueror over here to the spot, like G4, G5. It's a really good counter to somebody trying to cap. Looks like they've got Taco and the Conqueror moving over. Monkeynomics, they've figured out that they don't have anybody in the north, so they're going to start making rotations here. Monkey's on his rotate back. Hopefully he doesn't get caught by this light tank. He'll eat a couple of shots if he does. Looks like Panda's got their Conqueror maybe one hump back. Usually like to put a tank up in this general area right here. All right, so RNG's gonna have a hard time digging Monkey out of this spot. He's gonna have shots on the base from this position, and then if he gets pushed, which he has to get fully pushed to get him out, Taco and his Conquer will have cover shots on him from there. A really good setup out of Panda here. We'll see what RNG does to try to counter it.
I got 3 minutes left, so not too much time left already.
Oh,
Is it supposed to be 7 minutes?
did we start at 7? I don't think we did.
No,
How are we already down to 2 minutes left in the match?
I think it might have started at 5.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about that one.
I need to send
Or
it.
or maybe we're both going crazy and
No, I remember seeing it was like a
okay,
4
no.
minutes when the
They're all going back to the garage. They just asked. Okay, so they've asked RNG to cap the flag out. They should have probably just sent a few more tanks over here to cap it, but they've realized the timer's not right. Okay, so that it's good to know we're not losing our minds, Zoran. I was like, man, are we missing some time here? Like, I don't. Interesting. Unfortunately, both teams have really kind of seen right what's happening. So we'll see if either team elects to do something a little different on the next go around. They're definitely have to restart this. This is not a mistake on either team. This is a mistake on the room mod. So they're gonna have to just run this back, honestly. All right. Well, we'll go on back to the garage. We'll get these. They'll get these tanks picked up real quick. Hopefully, the room mod gets this fixed up. Currently, it's still set on 5. We'll see if they change it. I didn't really even look at the clock on the first round, but I know it wasn't set to 5 because we had longer than a 5-minute match.
they said pick their tanks back quickly.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the mod to fix it, and we'll be good to go. All right, we're set to 10. Should be good as soon as they launch it.
Oh, looks like Princess is reconsidering his choice of the TL7. Never mind then.
I was gonna say I don't know that they'll let them do that, but it's not my position to call them on it. All right, we're ready to go again. Oh, I just realized that when you first load in as a spectator and you're looking at somebody's loadout, it shows they have one round of ammo. Does it show you that?
I'm on the port console, so give me a second.
If you you can actually see their loadout. I've never cycled through people's tanks here.
You don't get to see consumables, sadly.
No consumables. Oh, the 2 KPZs are different. Interesting. Some HE. Wow, I have never cycled through that.
Nope. Got a bat chat with HE, that's nice.
This Conqueror actually has standard rounds. All right, we're going to get out of that. We learn something new every day.
Good for him being cheap.
All right, well, Panda has started off a little different really from the gate. Instead of Monkey going up from the start, he has now went over to his other position. RNGD is doing something completely different too. Instead of sending some people to the right to kind of be hold down to hold people back, their whole team is going mid. This is just what you run into whenever you have to restart a round like that. I mean, teams see what other teams do. They see their tank picks. It just is what it is. I mean, essentially the setups are the same, except for RNG. I'm assuming they thought that Panda had sent somebody or people down the K line, and they were going to be set up to delete somebody. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and now they've got their whole team on the mid hill. And I'm really hoping the whole team doesn't get on the cap, but it looks like it's going to happen. They are going to for sure be spotted here, and they're going to start taking some damage. And they've really given a lot of area for Panda to work around behind them. Big tanks dropping early, conks down, another conk down. Lots of focus fire going on here.
Yeah, it's a farm for Monkey in the south.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's just got shots for days. He's going to have to contest with the 1390, but that's not going to give him a problem very long. It's a clip. Another conk's going down here. Panda is just focus firing people out of the game. This isn't really a strat I've ever really seen work. I've seen a couple of teams try it. It looks like they built a little box for this guy, but I don't really know how well that's going to hold up. Yeah, he's taking shots. I mean, Panda's just going to come in here and shoot.
Yeah, they're moving in from the north.
I think a pop. Did he? Wow, his top is gone. Now I couldn't even talk. Amazingly drifted. Okay, so now he's gonna start taking some damage here. I was gonna say, amazingly, he hasn't really been shot yet. He's just the last guy on the chopping board, I guess. Looks like we've got a light tank, TL7. He's over here. Not real sure how much damage this guy was putting in. I didn't see a lot of shots coming from him. And to be fair, up until the end when Panda started coming in, he didn't really have shots. So good round for Panda there. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot you can do with that kind of strat. You go into the cap, you try to put your whole team on it. When the defense team has people up in the hill, yikes! I mean, you see what happens. So GG to Panda, they're going to go up 2-0. We'll go look at the scoreboard over on the Panda side. We got Bimbers and the Cobra, T54, 2 kills, 2,800 damage, only missing 2. Monkeynomics and the KPZ 50T, 1 kill, 2,400 damage. No Sleep in the Conqueror, 1 kill, 2,215 with 5,800 assisted.
Quite a bit of assist.
Oh my god. All right. We got Burn This Taco in the Conqueror with 1,900 damage. We got Pitbulls in the Bad Chat, 25, 2 kills, 1,700 with 2,500 assists. We got Uzi in the Bad Chat with 1,200 damage. We got Snake the Jake in the Cobra 254 with 2 kills, 1,100 damage. And Diesel rounded it out with the KPZ with 291 damage.
On RNG, we got Spout Project with a kill and 1958 with a bit of assist. We got Princess and a TL7 with a kill and 5 pins for 1,500, doing a lot better this round. Snake Eyes with the KPZ, 3 kills and a shot of assist for 1,200 total. Marshall with the MX 1390 with only 3 pins for 700. Drift X with the KPZ for a couple of shots and another shot of assist. Saint Evil and the Conqueror with 437 and a small bit of assist. And then DS and Boss Spawn looks like they didn't manage to get much done.
Yeah, rough game for them. I mean, there was nothing they could do, right? I mean, you're pulling up to the cap. I mean, and an amazing 5,800 assisted. Oh my God, out of a conquer. That's insane. That's insane. GG's Panda there. Good job to RNG for coming in trying to cap it. So we're gonna move on to Mountain Pass.
Ooh. I don't think I've seen a comp game in this map yet.
Now here's where it's really interesting for Panda or for RNG, right? This is RNG's map pick. They're down 2. The unfortunate thing is Panda gets to pick the side. I honestly think it really depends on your tank picks, right? I think if you pick the right tanks, I honestly think the attacking team has an advantage here. Just because the defending team likes to really camp the wrong locations. Because one cap is going to be down in the middle where all that water and ice and stuff is. The other cap is in the north up by the little spawn hill. So a lot of people really like to camp the bridge and they camp that spawn hill. But it gives the south team a whole lot of time to make that cross going over into the left side for free. And if they can hold that hill over watching the bottom cap, they do a lot of damage from there. So I think if you pick the right tanks and you've practiced it, the attacking team has an advantage here. We'll see what happens. Panda has not picked their side yet. They're discussing it. I don't know that they would have even practiced this map, right? A lot of people don't play this map. It's not your standard map in all the other tournaments. I rather enjoy it. I know a lot of teams hate it, but I love it. I love Mountain Pass as a competitive map.
What kind of tank selection do you think will show up?
I mean, I think you're going to see the standard, right? You'll see the Cobras, you'll see Conquerors, maybe some more Conquerors than Cobras this go around, but I don't know about that. Medium wise, you're probably going to see KPZs. I don't know that bat chats are the play here. And then if you're really smart about it, you're going to play a waffle and a T30 ish, maybe even a Jag, like a Yag Tig. You're going to need some
That'd be fun.
DPM and maybe a little armor. You're not really going for concealment, right? It's kind of a small map. You really need a little bit of armor and a heavy hitting gun. So T30, maybe even Yag Tiger. We'll see what happens.
With the amount of conquerors, and not many heavy tanks, big guns, I could even see an SCRV.
It doesn't look like okay, so I guess there's going to be a contest here. I don't think they're going to be allowed to play Mountain Pass.
Oh, that's a shame.
That is a shame. I really love this map. This would have been an interesting round. Yep, so it's not going to be Mountain Pass is not going to be played.
Boo.
Of the choices that RNG has to pick for this round is going to be Steps, Mines, Abbey, Sand River, Port. And I do believe
Please.
Port might have been banned. I'd have to scroll back up and look.
Please be Port.
Maybe Mountain Pass was banned. It's on the list.
I want to see these nice low tier maps you don't see often.
Oh, we've got some interesting stuff taking place in the match chat. So, yikes. I don't know how they're going to handle this because there's a room mod in here. And this was overlooked. Turns out they've been operating onto the EU map pool for the tournament, which included Westfield. The NA map pool does not include Westfield. Looks like the admin is going to give RNG Am I reading this? Okay, so they're gonna give RNG the decision if they want to replay the whole first map. Yikes. RNG is going to elect to completely replay the first map.
So it's gonna be a longer stream today.
Yikes. I apologize, chat. There's a lot going on in the match chat. I don't know how this got by the room mod, honestly. Oh man, so I guess we're starting all over? There's no way.
Should we double check the rule set to make sure we haven't done anything else wrong?
Yeah, I've looked at it. All right, well, they gave RNG the ability to basically say the first two matches never happened and start over. So we're gonna go back to 0-0, amazingly, and they're gonna now start playing on the NA map pool, and Panda gets first map pick. They've picked mines. RNG gets side pick. They've picked defense. So we're starting fresh.
Isn't there an option to swap the rooms?
There is. I don't know
Entirely?
why they're doing it that way, but hey. So we're going back to 0-0. Wow. Already.
And we got mines, so I guess we'll expect to be a bit more heavy.
Dang, I was really wanting to see Mountain Pass.
I'm still hoping we see port.
Well, streamed a lot of matches. I've played in a lot of matches. Not sure I've ever seen this happen. I'm gonna be honest. Well, look, I mean, this is good news for RNG. You know, they were down 2-0. They now have they're starting fresh.
Here I wasn't thinking we are gonna get a nice paper tank, but we got a dip waffle sugar already.
All right, well, we're gonna go mines. Tier 9 plays out a lot like Tier 10 on this map. Obviously, just a little bit different tank picks. You're gonna see Baby Waffle for sure. You probably see maybe a T30 out of RNG. I don't know if they're gonna pop out a Baby Waff. They haven't yet. You're gonna see conks. You're gonna see cobras. That's kind of gonna be the thing, right? So over on RNG side so far, we've got this in the Cobra 254, Irish Assassin in the KPZ 50 ton, Spectonic in the Concept 1B, Princess in the Cobra 254, Boss Pawn in the Conqueror, and Snake Eyes in the KPZ 50 ton.
A T30.
Yep, and then they popped in a T30, which I'm not surprised they played that a lot today. Even though technically we're 0-0. RNG's more set up to take the hill. Versus Panda. Panda's got Bat Chat. I don't think Bat Chat will be loaded. If they go hill and RNG goes hill, I don't think Bat Chats are loaded when they get up there. They kind of just gonna have to run around the hill, right? So I don't expect to see Panda go hill here. RNG could do really anything, but they're definitely set up more for a hill push. But we'll see what happens. I do want to give props to both teams. They've handled the situation very well. In the match chat, there was no arguing. There was no back and forth crap. Right. Both teams just accepted that the mistake happened. The admin made a judgment. Both teams accepted the admin's judgment and went on. Right. That's how this stuff's supposed to work. Whether you agree, you disagree, whatever, you love it, you hate it. At the end of the day, the admins make a choice. You follow it. So props to both teams for doing just that. And look, at the end of the day, we get to see two extra matches, basically, maybe more.
I mean, we got to see 2.5 matches.
Yeah, we got to see the half match on Westfield. All right, we got readies out of Panda, and we've got a ready out of at RNG, so we're gonna be ready to go. All right, we'll see what happens. Mine's is a fun map. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna see it. Let's see if your prediction if they take the hill or not.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the tank picks for it. I don't think Panda does. Panda's got some heavies, right? I'm sure they'll send some heavies up there, but their mediums, yeah, well, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, right? They just don't have the reload. When they get up there, they're not loaded. It's a risk, you know? Not saying they couldn't do it, it's just a big risk. Yeah, and they're not going to. I mean, it's too much of a gamble. I know people try it, but it's a gamble. RNG's gonna do some interesting stuff here. There's gonna be a brawl here. Oh, Panda's taking some punish on the cross. Would have liked to seen a little more punish out. Good Lord, he's dead. Good job at RNG here. They're gonna have to do some pushing here. They cannot let these guys get set up in this corner. They're just gonna have to get aggressive, push them out. That bad chat can only shoot so much. Irish Assassin is definitely pinning his shots. We got the Concept 1B coming in. He's going to take a shot. He's going to take maybe another shot from the waffle. We'll see what happens. Irish Assassin goes down. Good swap for hit points here out of Panda. This guy's going to come in, try to turn a turret for the Cobra. They're both on a reload. Is he going to get him out? He did get him out.
They're gonna push Snake though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they realize he's on a reload because the KPZ's not peaked at all.
And while we're paying attention, Panda
All right,
set
they're
up
gonna
a
push
tank
now.
on the hill.
All right, we got a little bit of a brawl happening on the north side here. RNG's got to be very, very careful not to put themselves into cross shots here. I mean, they're just kind of eating some shots. Panda's still got a couple of really good healthy tanks. We'll see what happens. Good punish into the Conqueror out of RNG. It is another pop top. Crazy. That's not good for RNG. They just lost a couple of tanks. They're having a hard time getting this T54 out over here.
Yeah,
They lost the concept. The waffle took out the other. I mean, that's a hard push, man. You know, you got a waffle back there. Hopefully, the concept 1B was giving them that information. This really looked like RNG was going to try to pull this off. I mean, they had the position. They got the early bleed. They took a couple guys out. I think they were just overexposing to too many tanks, right? And they were taking too much bleed trying to move from position to position. And Panda just capitalized on it, right? Good players just don't let people make bad mistakes like that. They're gonna punish it. So GG to both teams. That really could have went either way. Over on the Panda side, we got Bimbers and the Cobra T54 with 3466. We got No Sleep in the Conquer with 2 kills, 3440. Those are, I mean, that's big numbers out of 3 people cracked 3K. We got Diesel in the tier 9 VZ with 3 kills, 3268. We got Monkeynomics in the Waffle with 2 kills, 1360. We got Snake the Jake in the Cobra with 1 kill, 1223. Pitbulls in the Bat Chat with 800. We're in this Taco with the Conqueror with 800, and Uzi in the Bat Chat with 0. He's the one that got it. He ate it hard on that cross, and then Pitbulls wasn't too far behind. RNG did a really good job punishing that cross. But I mean, they had, 3-4 tanks right there pushing it?
And for punishing, we got Snake, who did a respectable 3K with a kill.
For sure.
Princess with 1500. Marshall with about 3 pins for 1200. Dis with another 3 pins out of his 1 clip. He managed to unload. Drift with 2 pins and a kill. Spectronic with a couple 3 pins and a kill. Ash Assassin with only a couple pins and a bit of assist. And Boss Spawn with only a single pin.
Yep, like I said, GG to both teams. RNG definitely got the early punish in, but then they just Panda cleaned it up there at the end. So Panda's going to go up 1-0 here on our replay of the first 2 games. All right, we got Panda picking tanks fast.
Oh, we got a rare tank. It's an ST1.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is kind of crazy.
ST1 doesn't have that great of gun handling, but its turret's really strong and it has crazy side armor, so it's not going to be as easily pinned unlike the Conch.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid tank. Honestly, I enjoy watching non-meta tanks get put in. Sometimes it can get stale watching the same 4 or 5 tanks play in the game.
Oh, you get tired of watching Conquerors all day?
I mean, yeah, but as a player, right? Conquerors aren't that hard to deal with, I think as teams throw in more like STIs and stuff, it catches a lot of people off. A lot of these teams practice. They get their players in. They practice with their players on certain tanks and certain positions. And you can really throw a guy off when you throw an STI in his face when he's used to shooting, like a conch or something, right? So, I like it. I like to see people do that.
There's an E75. No? Okay, then.
E75 is another good one, I'm a weirdo when it comes to the tier 9s. I would be the guy that would throw out, like an arachnid. Come on, give me some arachnids.
That's tank. Hope one of your enemy team has arachnophobia and he misses shots.
Hey, it could be a real strat.
It's also a strategy to use the bar when it recommended.
Actually, we did see somebody use a bar once, and he only hit one shot the whole game, but he pinned, and Amarak got a whole health on a conk. One shot of conquer.
You know what? That's good. RNG seems quite in debate in which tanks to pick.
Yeah, they definitely doesn't have anything up. Let me go look and see if there's any issues going on in the chat. Doesn't look like anything is a problem.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, a 257.
Strong tank, weird. You gotta play it. Gotta play it with some intelligence, though. You can get pinned.
On a 777 as well. Yep. 777's got some interesting armor. Like a in between of a ST1 and a T10.
Yeah, I mean the tank's funky. I think in public lobbies, right? A lot of people don't know how to pin it. A lot of people RBRT. It'll bounce, you know.
Okay. WZ. I've always preferred the T10 over it for its a bit better gun handling.
Yeah, T10's definitely a little better tank pick over the WZ 111-14. Gun's just kind of trolly on that tank. Tier 10s are weird when it comes to some of these heavies, man. I mean, obviously the conch is crazy good. But anything outside of that, it gets kind of weird, right? 257 is crazy good. Got a great gun, got decent armor, good speed. But again, it's got weak spots, you know. You can easily pin that thing. So it's kind of balanced, I guess. 777 is another weird one. You don't really know how to pin it, you're gonna bounce it. You can play it a couple of different ways, right? It's got a decent little gun on it, but if you run into a player that really knows how to shoot it, it's dead.
Another 777.
And it's really weird that they're playing these tanks on attack, right? I mean, unless they're planning on pushing one of the flags with these tanks, I don't really know what they're gonna do. They don't really have gun depression. Be my guess, they would probably push a flag, based on tank picks. I mean, maybe the B cap. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. They can't really play the hill, not effectively anyway. All right, we're off to the races. They're definitely not gonna go for the B cap here. Doesn't appear like their heavies are gonna go for the hill either. Okay,
Looks
yeah,
like they're
so
going in on A, I guess.
yeah, so see, I mean, this is what I was thinking. You know, they played a lot of tanks that can't really play the hill. I don't know if Panda's going to pick up on that. Their callers should notice that. And they're definitely going to send all their tanks over to the A cap with a couple of mediums taking the hill. They're going to have a weird time with the hill. I really don't think they should just leave the two tanks up there. That can be counter pushed super duper easy. And if you're taking the A flag and you get counter pushed off the hill, it's pretty well a GG at that point. So I think they kind of left that open there. We'll see what happens.
Looks like they're sending their conquerors though.
Panda's kind of set up in a pretty standard defense here. They're just going to wait and see what gets spotted where and then rotate accordingly. They've got to know that they're spotted. They've got to know that they wasn't going to go to the hill with those tanks, though. So Spectonic came in at a really kind of different angle. Or I'm sorry, not Spectonic, but Princess, and she got spotted and took some bleed. Both tanks are now down around a half health, and the match is just now getting underway, and they're on the cap. We've got 4 tanks on. Panda's going to have to do some rotating here. And RNG did clean up the problem on the hill. They brought their 2 heavies back to watch the hill. This is going to be a lot better shape for RNG here. Panda's really going to have to get in here. RNG's going to have to... Oh, they did. They got this guy on fire. They did get Princess out, but at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. She's now blocking for Spectonic from that STI, and they were able to get Pit Bulls out. This is really good for RNG. Panda's just basically going to have to counter push the hill at this point, and they're going to have to do it like now. But the problem is they've run into 2 Conkers that are kind of hold down. Monkey's getting some track shots on them. They're just going to rotate to the cap. They've got 11 seconds, 10 seconds. They should... I don't know that they're going to get a reset here. Maybe. They did get a reset, but are they going to get a reset on Spectonic over here? He's got the cap points.
Oh, that was a critical.
Oh, they got the reset on Drift at the very end. Absolutely ran it down to the last second. There's that little bit of lag from when the clock hits 0 to the match ends, and they got it. RNG was a little slow in the rotation off. I mean, the guys on the hill, the KPZs, I think they should have came off and got back down in here whenever they realized that Panda was coming to the flag that hard. Marshall is pretty healthy here. He is taking some shots, though. This guy's coming off too fast. He took damage coming off the hill. They really just didn't know where to shoot at this point, I don't think. They've left Bimbers over here full health. And then they had Snake over here shooting people in the butt as well. Unfortunate turn of events for RNG. They had that literally down to the last, like, half a second. GG's to both teams. They're going to rotate around and get him out up here on the hill. And it looks like Panda's probably going to go up 2-0 here.
I'm just thinking of a crazy strat where the KBZ dives off the cliff to block shots from the 2 guys trying to cap.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, RNG was a little bit slow on the rotation off the hill once they seen, Panda rotating. Instead of pushing, right, they were spotted. They were up there trying to push the conks. So the RNG had the knowledge that Panda was rotating back towards the cap. Once that happened, they should have made their rotation. They eventually did it, but they just did it way too slow. And they really let people go out single-handedly, which allowed Monkeynomics to farm. That's why you see him with 5,400 damage. But I mean, honestly, it was just down to luck that Panda got that pin when they did. I mean, the first shot was a miss. The clock actually hit 0, but there's a little lag. So, GG's to both teams. On the scoreboard, we got Monkeynomics on Panda side with the Waffle, 2 kills, 5,400 damage, just absolutely farmed. Chadro on the STI, which was the guy getting the initial resets, with 2 kills, 2,000 damage. Very good game there. Pitbulls in the Conquer with 1,400. We got Uzi in the Bad Chat with 1,400. We got Snake in the Cobra with 1 kill, 1,300. Diesel in the KPZ with 1,200. Bimbers in the Cobra, which got behind the guy on the cap, well, full health somehow. 3 kills, 1,100 damage, and Attempted Wolf in the KPZ with 200 damage.
Got Marshall on the conk with a respectable 2K. Irish Assassin with a kill and 1,700 enough. Dis in a 777 with 1,300 with a good couple shots with assist. And Drift in a 777 also. 1K damage, a kill, and a bit of assist. Spectonic in a 257 trying to last until the end of the game with 900 damage and a kill. Snake Eyes in a KPZ with also 900 and a kill. Princess in a WZ with a shot of damage, and the Saint Evil with 400 of also a shot of damage.
Yep. Good job, both teams. And it looks like we're going to move on to steps. And Panda has elected defense. So this was a RNG map pick. Being down 2, I don't think you pick steps knowing that your other team's most likely going to pick defense. Defending steps is pretty easy. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's one-sided, but it's very heavily defense favored. So I don't know that this was the best map pick you could have picked. I would have went with something that would have threw them off, knowing that you're down 2. Pick port, right? The other team,
Yeah, port.
they're not practicing port. Pick port. Try to come at them with something crazy to grab you 2 wins. But hey, we're on steps. RNG's got to attack. They are throwing up a light tank, so we have the option for a north cap here. It's a T49, so I don't really know that they can. It's going to be weird to cap with that. Doesn't have the best concealment. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, all Panda really has to do is just play hole down. Bunker up, play hole down, watch angles, focus fire, and punish light tank if they go for the flag, right? Defense is pretty simple. We'll see what happens. So far, we got Monkeynomics and a Waffle. We got Snake Jake and a Conqueror. We got Pitbulls and a T30. We got Bimbers and a Conk. And we got Uzi in a Batchat.
So far, RNG has a not so camouflage T49 and Dis and a WZ.
Tough position to be in, down 2, attacking on steps. I mean, you almost kind of want to come at them with something a little unorthodox, honestly.
So what you're saying is we might see the bar.
I don't think we'll see that.
Darn.
I hope we don't see that.
I hope we do.
Been some decent games today. I mean, a few of these have been kind of close, right? I mean, that first Mines game there, well, actually, both Mines games were close. That really could have went either way. I think RNG just made a little bit of mistakeage there, kind of mid to late game. Initially, they kind of had the advantage, really. Westfield, I think their initial setup on the attack was looking good. When they replayed it, I don't think they made the right decision with every tank on the cap. So I think Panda took that one pretty easily. The other side, a little bit of a brawl. I think if they'd, took care of those 2 mediums that were up in that little peak, that could have maybe went the other way. But yeah, Mines was definitely close games. So we'll see what happens here.
Nope, we had to return to the TL7.
Yep, TL7 Black has now made its appearance again for RNG, which they've also got a couple of KPZs out of Irish Assassin and Snake Eyes, and a 257 out of Boss Pawn.
And a VZ back again.
Tier 9 VZ is a strong tank. Got a really good gun on it. I mean, you peek, you pop 2, boom, boom. Over on RNG side, we got Marshall rounding out in a T10. Love to see it. And then we've got Saint Evil in the Tier 9 VZ. Same on the Panda side. Diesel in a Tier 9 VZ. And I think the only other tank oh, there we go. No Sleep in a 777. I'm not surprised to see that tank. Expect him to probably be playing north of the tracks on defense, but we'll see what happens.
See what's some of the last remaining tier 9 heavies you haven't seen yet. Seen any? Have you seen a 50 TP yet?
No 50 TPs. Let's see. Haven't seen any of the German ones. So no
Yeah.
E75.
I
No
wouldn't
Malshin.
expect it. I wouldn't expect to see a Moisen or a VK45B.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. A VK can bounce a lot of shots though, actually.
It can just it's a if it's the like Himmelsdorf, I can see it side scraping
Maybe.
or the E75. But E75 just generally plays better.
We don't really see a lot of Type 4s either. I mean, maybe Hims, but we haven't seen him, so. All right, we're ready to go.
I don't think we'll ever see it in 103. Maybe on in Cold War.
Maybe. I mean, that thing's got a phenomenal gun.
Yeah, just its turret is great.
All right, we'll see what happens. RNG's got a task ahead of him here. Down 2, got to win this, and you're on attack on steps. Let's see. Looks like from the start anyway, RNG's gonna go heavy towards B cap with a light tank going north. Not really surprised out of what I see from Panda here. That 777 going north of the track, along with the Tier 9 VZ. Pretty standard setup here. I don't know that this bat chat for Panda is gonna spot these guys on the craw. I think the Conk's gonna have to do it. Man, RNG is coming very spread out. I don't know. And really far back. They're just outside of the spotting range here. They're going to have to be careful. All it's going to take is one, and there it goes. You get one heavy tank spotted over here, and Panda's going to start rotations, and he's coming in. I don't know what the play was with everybody being so spread out, but I mean, this guy's just getting focus fired.
Yeah, I'm not sure having the WZ lead the charge would have been a good idea. Because I have the best armor.
Panda's making their rotations. RNG's coming in. We're going to have a battle on our hands here. Everybody going on the bottom. Batchat's still not spotted up top. If he stays unspotted and gets another clip loaded, he'll be able to shoot some people in the butt. He'll be able to full kill this guy if he doesn't die. He's getting ready to die now anyway. WZ's going down there. KPZ's already out. They do have Panda's T30 down to a one-shot.
And the 777 and VZ51 are coming from the railroad tracks. T49's
Monkeynomics back
driving around.
there in that waffle. He's got these guys cannot progress on that bottom. That waffle, he's not going to get spotted. He's just going to hand damage out on that bottom side. They did get the Batchat spotted. If they punish him on the way out, doesn't look like it. Actually, he may not be spotted. I guess he is. Oh, he's trying to hide behind the hump over there. Snake the Jake and the Conqueror handing damage out like it's going out of style down here. We do have Chad and the Conk and Diesel and the Tier 9 VZ coming in along with No Sleep in the 777. 257 pulls up from Boss Pond. He's going to try to get his gun in the game. And down fast. Focus fire on point for Panda there. And we're left with the TD back here in the bush. I don't know, man. I feel like the flow was off for RNG there. It looked like a couple of people were kind of like out, right? They were just kind of driving. I don't know. It just kind of seemed like they were off a little bit, not really playing as a group. Drift's going to take a track here. He's going to go down, and Panda is going to go up to 3-0.
Morale might have been down, and that's why
Maybe.
they were playing a bit off.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's a very real thing, right? It just happens, I guess. So over on the scoreboard, we've got Snake the Jake and the Conk handed it out. 3,700 damage with one kill, only missing one shot. Pitbulls in the T30 with 2161. Chadro and the Conk with 3 kills, 2127 with all pins. Great game out of that guy. Diesel and the TNH T's VZ51. Say that 3 times fast. All pins with 3 kills, 1827. Bimbers in the Conk. 1 kill, 1389. Uzi in the Bat Chat with 1169. Monkeynomics in the Waffle missing a couple of shots, unfortunately, with 1133. And No Sleep in the 777 with 1 pin. Missed 3. Plus, he had to rotate back from the track, so it took him a little longer. So, GG's to both.
Drift managing to get a bit of damage out and at the end of the game. 1800. Boss Spawn and the 257. Almost 1400 damage. Spetrock T4NDA running 90mm with a kill and 875 damage with a bit of a track spotting assist. Marshall in a T10 with a couple of shots and also a bit of spotting. Dis in a WZ-14 with a pin and also a bit of spotting assist. Saint Evil in a VZ-51 managed only to get one clip off for one pin. Irish Assassin in the KPZ with one pin. And Snake Eyes only managed to do one shot, clean one shot off with no pins and a midget of spotting.
Yep. GG to both teams. I really think RNG played very well on mines. So GG's to them. It looks like they're going to be out of the tournament, and Panda's going to progress on in the playoffs. So we look forward to seeing RNG next season. Chat, that's going to wrap it up for us. Panda's going to take the victory here, 3-0. Even though they did play the 2 rounds on Westfield, those got eliminated because they wasn't a playable map. So there's that. So Zoran, I really appreciate you joining me on the comms today, man. I know it's kind of like your first time doing it on stream. You did well, man, and I'm really glad to have you.
That was fun enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Chat, y'all stick around. As soon as the delay is over, I'll raid y'all out to somebody that's on the stream. If you're not already in my Discord, we'll pop a link in the chat for you. Join the Discord. It's super fun and an awesome place to be. And we'll catch you on the next one. GG's to both teams.
Hey, Noodle, let me take him out. Like a ticking time bomb, we about to blow. And I wipe out the ops like an obstacle. Line them all up like dominoes. Then we watch them all fall like Geronimo. Brain like tanks cause we on a roll. And we got more rounds in a pot of gold. Catch more shells than Galapagos. No safe landings in a war zone. That's real. Got sauce, no tartar. And I drop bars, that's fact. We got a clan behind them, they diabolic. They always got his back. They'll drop a hater cause clutch kings don't tolerate disrespect.